Hello you guys, and welcome to Mr. and Mrs. Social Studies. It feels like it's been a while since I've done this, just because we've done a couple more videos at home, but I'm excited to do a classroom transformation with you over this vlog. Any fellow teachers out there, I'm sure you already know about the superhero teacher who I recently discovered she had a YouTube channel, and even though she's very new into that, she had this amazing classroom transformation she put together, as well as I had previously been aware of her work of the classroom transformations that happened for Brittany from 5'1" Teacher, and because of it, I just felt inspired. I feel like at this time of the year, kids are starting to get a little antsy. Maybe they want some change of pace, and I myself wouldn't mind some change of pace around the room here. So I thought for throughout the next week or so that I'd be putting some changes into effect to do somewhat of a classroom transformation as well. Granted, I don't have the same background knowledge to be putting in such an involved project like the ones on Superhero Teacher, as well as I don't have the funds for that. I was blown away on one of the most recent ones I watched, and the total was almost $10,000. Now, I'm going to do a much more moderate version. My budget's $100, which is honestly a lot more than I normally spend on things that are just for the classroom, but it definitely seems like a worthy thing to do, and I haven't really taken the time to make my classroom as aesthetic as possible, or just wanting to make it more welcoming is important to me too. So that being said, I did put together a little survey on Google Forms. About 60% of my students did select a travel theme as what they'd like to see. So we're going to take this classroom here and we're going to make it as much of a travel themed room as possible. There's definitely a lot of different layers. I mean, I love travel, so I don't mind that as a topic. I started doing a little bit of research already and brainstorming, so I wanted to share that with you guys. So after getting feedback from the students, I was then going through and trying to identify what the key areas were in the room that I wanted to address. There's a lot of white space above these bulletin boards here. I'm going to put a few things there. Then also these cabinets are going to be all decked out travel themed, and I'm going to do a little bit more with these whiteboards because in general I don't really use them as much. I feel like I used to use them more but just haven't recently. I will also probably have a few travel related elements in other places as well, but I feel like if there's plenty in those areas, that will definitely really convey a difference. I also am going to mix up my seating charts, and I thought, I don't know if this is too much, but I thought I could do somewhat of a row style since we've got a lot of standardized testing coming up, but to kind of treat it like an airplane. So I'd have, or like an international flight, so I'd have a group of 4 desks in the middle and then 2 groups of 3 desks together along the sides, and do a couple rows of that. I think that could be a cool way to fit in with the theme, but also be ready for that standardized testing that's coming up. I also went to a used furniture store, and for $6 found a cool little painting picture type thing. It's a little map and it says, "You mean the world to me," and the frame was in pretty good shape, so I think I'll probably like prop it maybe against the window or somewhere, just since it fits in with the travel theme, as well as I want my students to know that I really care about them, and I do, I genuinely do. So I just thought it was perfect. And so far the only other thing I've purchased was a set of clip art, which will be used for, I'm gonna update my class expectation signs. Now the clip art itself was priced at $10 full price, but because I had reviewed a couple items that I had purchased, I was able to get credit for that, so it brought down the cost to $8.80. So the next steps, I'm gonna see what quotes my students selected. I gave them a survey with some top travel related quotes that are also very true about life, and I'm going to be putting those together on some posters that I designed as well. So I'm pretty excited. I will show you more of that as I'm working on that. Good morning, it is currently Monday morning and I have the seats all ready. It's kind of like an airplane setup, and I even put little labels on each desk. I have boarding passes for the students already when they get in today. We didn't finish all the other parts of the room, but you know, it's gonna be a gradual addition as we go. All right guys, I wanted to check in with a few more updates. So like I showed you this morning very briefly for the start of school, I had the desks arranged kind of like an airplane. I also gave students boarding passes that they picked up this morning to find their seat. Not only was this just a fun way to connect the theme, but the kids actually did a much better job of sitting in the actual spot they were supposed to instead of other spots, which is usually something you have to watch out for with 8th grade students. They might try to be a little sneaky and sit somewhere else. And out of all 4 classes, there was only 1 student who had purposely gone to the wrong on seat. I also last week hung up my class rules. I updated them so they include some different travel related images. I will link the clip art where I got that from on Teachers Pay Teachers, but you can also in the link below get all of them so you can, if you wanted to print them out as well. Everything's got a colored version and a black and white version, whatever printing you prefer to use. I also got these quote posters printed out. They have different travel related quotes that my students voted on, and I really love the pop of color they give. This display, the who we are and where we've been display with the flags, is underway. We've got a couple flags so far, and I'm sure there'll be more that come in. And then I really love the suitcases I did up here, which have all the different things you might need to be a successful student for a successful journey. Over here we have our class lost and found. I just changed the sign to be lost luggage just to fit in with the travel theme. And this is that painting I was telling you about where it says "You mean the world to me," as well as it's got a little map in the background, so I thought that was really a nice addition. So the other thing I bought over here, this was actually clearanced at Michael's, and this was $14 on clearance, so I was really happy. It's made out of wood, and I think that this will be a cool addition to a classroom in multiple ways and for multiple different units, so I've got that there as well. And I think with those kind of pieces, one of the benefits is just when it is more of a traditional piece of art rather than a classroom poster, it gives it just a little bit more of like an elevated feel. I mean, by no means am I trying to do, you know, the full-on dramatic makeover, home decor, but there's definitely a few different pieces that we can add that can maybe make it feel a little bit more like that. I'm gonna be making more changes throughout the week, so stay tuned for those. Hi guys, it's been a few days since I've checked in last, but I wanted to show you a few of the additions that I've added throughout the week and what the students have added. Over here we have the flag display of where students have either traveled to or a country that they are from personally or their ancestors are from. And I'm so happy, it looks really great over here with so much of the diversity represented. I also recently got the destination section set up mostly. I have one more form I'm going to be working on, but I went ahead and I added some really cool silhouettes of historical sites, and I think it makes kind of a cool informal border here for this destinations board where I'm going to be putting some details related to where we're going within social studies. So I think that's going to be a fun thing to take care of soon. I also went through and updated for our departures. Next week we have standardized testing, so I just got that ready as well. As I mentioned previously in this video, if you are interested in any of these travel related printables to do some sort of travel themed decor or transformation in your own classroom, you can check out the link below. You can find all of these. It's very flexible depending on your own preferences and printing, but this was definitely a fun option for me to already start transitioning my classroom a little bit into a more travel themed setup, and hopefully it could be exciting for your classroom too. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.